Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 Mods Weekly, the show where we take a look at some of the really cool mods that come out during the week for Fallout 4. And this week we have a really good variety of mods, things from every end of the modding spectrum, be it weapons, armors, quests, or even some really cool miscellaneous mods that don't even really have their own category yet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's first mod, and that's going to be Mobius's Sierra Power Armor by BlaineMobius. Now this is obviously inspired by the Scorched Sierra Power Armor from Fallout New Vegas' Lonesome Road DLC. Now believe it or not, this is not the first time BlaineMobius has made this power armor. This is actually going to be a redux of their original mod, featuring new and improved textures as well as some upgraded stats, and overall just a culmination of the improvements that they have made throughout their modding career. And I gotta say, it's absolutely worth it. This armor looks really nice and even features some glow-in-the-dark parts, which is just a cool little feature for some power armor so that you can stand out in the night amongst your foes. Now, given that this power armor is from the NCR and is pretty unique to the Commonwealth, this is not going to be added to any level list. Instead, you're going to have to find a static spawn of this NCR power armor. It is just southwest of Vault 95, and you will find it at a crashed vertibird inside of a little irradiated pond. But once you find it, the armor is yours for the taking. It is already there, fully equipped with a fusion core, and you can just take it and go. Honestly, I really like the style of this power armor. It looks super cool, it has a really nice, unique design, and overall just makes a really nice set for anybody who is trying to play some sort of a member in the NCR who has migrated their way over to the Commonwealth. This definitely works as a really cool NCR power armor, and I highly recommend checking this one out if you haven't already. If you are already using the old version of this mod, then it's definitely time for an upgrade, and if you've never used either, then maybe you should check this one out. Regardless, super cool work, good job BlaineMobius. On to the next one. And up next, we have a pretty interesting little mod known as Select Guitars by Neeher. Now, Neeher is often known for their weapon mods, but now we have a really interesting one that allows you to play guitars in Fallout 4. And you actually get to play them. It doesn't just play an animation. You get to pick the notes that are played on the guitar, which is just crazy. This all starts by heading over to the Bunker Hill Memorial, where you can find a new NPC named Scott who will sell you the guitar. Once you buy this from them, you will be able to craft it over at the chemistry station under the new guitars category in case you ever lose the first one. This new NPC comes with some pretty good voice acting, and of course, because it is a Neeher mod, some really interesting animations for when you first pick up the guitar, as well as some interesting animations that play during the dialogue. I'll go ahead and give you a little peek at that so you can see it for yourself.
I'll take it.
That'll be 200 caps. There you go. It's all yours. Also, here's the schematics to the guitar. I figure I can include those. Also included is the list of chords and finger positions, so you can learn how to play it if you don't already know. Thank you for your purchase, and have a good one.
Once you've obtained this guitar, like I said, you can craft more at the chemistry station, but if you want to actually use it, you can go over to your aid section of your Pip-Boy and just click on the guitar. It will drop it down on the ground, and from there you can either pick it back up or sit down and play it. Once you sit down to play, you'll be prompted with a text box that has numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can click on these, or you can just use them on your keyboard, and doing so will allow you to play different chords. Included in this mod is a note with the chord breakdown, or alternatively, you can check it out on the mod page that tells you what combination of buttons to press for each chord. So theoretically, you could string together some actual music. I wasn't really able to do so. I was able to get some guitar noises, but that's about it. Regardless, I'll let you hear what that sounds like and show you how this mod actually functions on its own without me jib-jabbing over it. So yeah, Select Guitars allows you to play guitars in Fallout 4, which is just crazy. Good job, Neeher. Really talented stuff. I can't believe some of the stuff that you're able to make in this game. Now then, moving on, we have a brand new melee mod, or sort of a melee mod, known as More Throwing Weapons by LeahTheUnknown. Now, this adds a really interesting take on melee weapons, specifically throwing weapons. Typically, if you were to think of a throwing weapon in Fallout 4, you would assume they would just make it in the grenade slot, but no, these are treated as pretty much guns with their own melee ammo types. There are two new sections at the chemistry station, one where you craft each of these new throwing weapons, and one where you craft the ammo for the throwing weapons. Now that may sound very weird, And it honestly looks a little bit weird when you throw the weapons, but there is a real purpose to this. Now that they are weapons, they can actually take on the melee perk for the damage. So if you upgrade your Big Leagues perk, it will increase the damage that you do with these throwing weapons. So that is a pretty neat feature. Also, doing it this way allows you to use these weapons in VATs. While it may look a little weird, it is something that you can do. So that's pretty cool as well. When it comes to the weapons you'll actually get in this mod, you will be able to throw an 8-ball, a fish, a fork, a hammer, a knife, a rock, a saw blade, a scalpel, a screwdriver, and a wrench, which is a pretty nice variety. Don't know why the fish is included in here, but if you ever wanted to throw a fish at your enemies, you can absolutely do so now. While a lot of this mod is really funky, I don't mind it whatsoever. The only problem that I really have with this mod is the projectile speed of each of these throwing weapons, and the only reason is because they don't do a ton of damage. So, because of the fact that they don't do a ton of damage and the projectile's really slow, it's hard to hit enemies. And if it's hard to hit enemies, these things should be doing way more damage, or alternatively, make the projectile a bit faster so that you can throw more projectiles at your enemies and actually kill them. Regardless of that though, this is still a really neat mod with some really unique thinking and problem solving to throwing weapons. I like this a whole lot. I love the features that are included in it. Some minor tweaks I think would make this a whole lot better, but regardless, it is still a really interesting and really fun mod as it is. So if you want some new throwing weapons, I'd highly recommend checking this one out, linked down in the description below. For our next mod, we actually have another throwing-based mod, and that's going to be Darts by LeahTheUnknown, which is going to add a functional dart game to Fallout 4 that you can play at your settlements, and that's just really cool. A new mini game that you can actually play and have fun with while also playing Fallout 4. So like I said, this is a fully functional dartboard. First of all, you're going to need to craft your darts, and this is going to be very similar to the framework from the More Throwing Weapons mod. You will craft either a practice dart or a cricket dart, and then the darts as the ammo type. The practice dart will show a score for you, but will not start a game, whereas the cricket darts will actually start a game of cricket darts, which is pretty crazy. As for the dartboard itself, you will need to craft that in the settlement menu, and you can place it on any wall. And from there, you can go ahead and get started. You can throw in some practice darts to kind of tune your score and get a feel for how the darts throw. They are a little bit random, so there will be a little less skill and a little bit more luck involved in this game, since it does use the accuracy stats of an actual firearm, but it's still pretty neat and really cool and an awesome little framework. Once you start an actual game, it will keep track of your score, and if you need to know the rules, you can also check the rules by checking out the dartboard itself and activating it. There's a handful of options there as well where you can collect darts, start new games, set the difficulty, etc. So all in all, we have a really functional minigame, which is pretty neat. I like darts a lot, so being able to play it in Fallout is pretty interesting. It's too bad we don't have some sort of co-op or multiplayer component, but you could at the very least maybe play online with your friends on Discord and set a target score and see what you guys can do. Regardless, it's still a super cool mod, really interesting to see what modders are creating in Fallout 4 using its engine. That's absolutely insane how creative some of these people are. Up next, we have a new weapon mod, and that's going to be the Mobius Home made AER work in progress by BlaineMobius. This is going to add a handmade laser rifle into Fallout 4. We actually did a full breakdown of this weapon not too long ago on the channel, so if you want even more details, you can go and check that out. But what you're going to get with this mod, again, is a handmade laser rifle that is added to the level list, and this thing is just really neat. Functionally, it is just a laser rifle, but it features some really cool attachments and some really cool aesthetics that I really enjoy. Imagine a laser variant of Fallout 4's pipe gun, and that's basically what you have with this mod, and it's executed very well. I like it a whole lot. It adds some really cool new reflex sights like the bottle scope, which uses a Nuka-Cola bottle as a lens, and it just has a really nice lore-friendly look to it. Now, the mod is marked as a work in progress, so anything in here is subject to change, though I doubt any of the features will be removed. More than likely, things will be added for its final release, and I can't wait to see what is going to come in this mod. It has a really nice foundation. The only thing that it's really missing is a flat damage upgrade on a receiver, but besides that, this mod is pretty much functional and ready to go in my opinion. It does use vanilla plasma rifle animations, but I think they work perfectly. I really like the little housing for the fusion cell, and altogether, I just think this is a really cool new lore-friendly weapon. So if you're looking for a new laser weapon for your load order, I would highly recommend checking this one out if you're playing some sort of a mad scientist or tinkerer. Definitely a really cool one. Good work by BlaineMobius, and I can't wait to see what else you come up with in your modding career. And then finally, the last mod that we have in today's Mods Weekly is the Commonwealth Killer quest mod by PEEEEG and the CSEP team. Now, this is going to add a New Vegas Bounties-esque quest mod into Fallout 4 that will allow you to take on contracts. However, this is much smaller than those original mods by some guy. This is just to pay sort of homage and respects to those old classic New Vegas style bounty mods. It has a very similar style and theme, going out and hunting bounties, and oftentimes it doesn't exactly go your way. There is a tiny bit of story to this as well, and a couple of unique weapons that you can find throughout the quest too. Altogether, this makes for a nice little package, so if you're looking for some new content for Fallout 4, this is definitely one I'd recommend. Once you complete the handful of main quests that are included in this, there are also Radiant quests, so this is technically infinitely replayable. It's just like the Radiant quest that you'd get in the vanilla game, but it is still there as an option if you want to make some extra caps and get your hands dirty killing some raiders. This mod luckily does come complete with voice acting, and the voice acting quality is really nice. I'll go ahead and let a couple of the actors play so that you can hear it for yourself.
No, I would rather you not bring me severed body parts. If you fail a job, the marshal or someone else will hear about it and let me know. This business relies on trust. Another rat falls into my trap. Another delicious rat.
We haven't done anything wrong. Just expressing our right to freely express our opinions about how much of a dickbag the mayor is.
So yeah, Commonwealth Killers is a nice little new bounty package. If you're looking for some quest mods, I'd highly recommend it, along with any of the other mods in today's video. If you want to try any of them, they will all be linked down in the description below, along with their Xbox links if there are any available. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating. Consider subscribing if you haven't already for more videos just like this. Big shout out to all of my patrons for supporting every single video, and a special thank you to Youth RC, Jackie Noid, Indecisive Wolf, Helljumper 2077, and Captain Chaos for supporting me with that tier 3 membership. You guys are awesome and so generous. If you want to check out Patreon, it will be linked down in the description below, but it is completely optional. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace!